Yes. Yes. Can you feel the power? This free agency has been nigh unstoppable. The con artist has been making moves like no one has ever seen in Steelers Nation in the past few years. The team has finally not mediocre anymore. We're not messing around. The old Steelers way is fading. And now a new era of Steelers football is finally here. And I know we're not done making moves yet. We still got a long, long way to go. But, you see this towel? Do you see it, Steeler Nation? There's only 6 on here. But soon, there will be a 7th! Do you hear me? I stare at this Super Bowl 43 replica ring, and I think to myself, it's been too long. But now, we have the league quaking in their boots. Yes. Oh, yes, the power. It is real. And it fills me. It fills me with horrible tears of power. Yes. Yes. Slip those hardball tears, Yinzers. I don't want to sound like a Buffalo fan, but we're going all the way this time. Cue it. Hello, Steelers Nation! Welcome to another episode of Steelcast, a podcast where you don't have to be a Steelers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Zach. Steelers Nation, let's weld, attack! And today, we are going to be breaking down the Steelers' more recent NFL free agency moves. We'll start off with some of the things that happened last time I recorded one of these. It's been 2 weeks since I last recorded one of these. It's really weird. But in any case, let's go ahead and break down what the Steel City has been doing since we last recorded the first thing. And actually happened on the day I uploaded the last one. I put it in the description. Justin Fields has become a Pittsburgh Steeler. It's old news at this point, but let's just go ahead and talk about the trade. We traded away a conditional 6th round 2025 pick for the Chicago QB. And Justin Fields is mostly known for his running ability, his speed. He's basically a younger Lamar Jackson, if you want to get technical. Except without much of an arm. He probably does have the arm, but remember, in Ohio State, he actually had receivers to throw to. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., who is going into the draft this year, actually. And so he had receivers to throw the ball to. And with his running ability, was able to lead Ohio State to many, many victories. But he didn't really have that in Chicago. His coordinators were always changing. He wasn't really get time to settle in. And a lot of QBs are thrown to the fire. There's a whole lot of coaching changes that are moved, even after they're drafted. It's really weird. And they never really find their footing like they were originally supposed to. And Fields had that same problem, but now coming to Pittsburgh, getting to learn under a veteran in Russell Wilson, who has been to Super Bowl before and won one, well, I dare say things are looking up, especially as Justin Fields becomes the future of the Steel City. Of course, like I said last video, my biggest worry with Justin Fields is the locker room division. Team Russ and Team Fields. But I'm not as worried about that as I originally was. I haven't seen anything on Twitter or Reddit. I haven't seen any Team Russ, Team Fields edit/memes yet. So I'm feeling pretty good. And a few and so Fields now he still doesn't have receivers to throw the ball to. We still have to figure out that wide receiver situation. More on that later. But I like this. We got a really stacked QB room now. We threw out all our other QBs, and now we have a better QB room than we did then we started. I'm feeling good. But then, of course, you can't have any ups without downs. And James Pierre signed with the Washington Commanders. I was kind of hoping to re-sign him because now we're really, really, really low on defensive backs. And we're probably not signing any more in free agency, which means we're probably going to have to double down on defensive back in the draft. But you know what? We got 7 picks, so you got to do what you got to do. You're really at 4 needs going into the draft. I will probably do a draft analysis video at some point in the coming week, but it's sad to see James Pierre go, but I wish you luck in DC, buddy. And then, of course, Okafor, who got cut before free agency started, actually recently, literally an hour, maybe 2 hours before recording this video, found out that he got shipped off to the Patriots. So, get that going for me. But I could have cared less about that one. I was more worried about James Pierre. So, 07's for our boy, but good luck in DC, like I said. And then we get to the big, juicy news that just happened this past week, actually. On Tuesday, the con artists making some really sweet moves, signing 3 free agents in one day, shocked Steel City. And the first of them was Quez Watkins, wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles. And obviously, this is a big splash signing. Quez Watkins is more than likely going to be the wide receiver, 2, maybe 3 on the team, behind Pickens and potentially Calvin Austin III. Quez Watkins is not going to be the high-paid, like Tyler Boyd. He's not going to be like the deep threat, but he works well in the slot. And with Deontay Johnson gone, we needed someone in the slot. So therefore, we get Quez Watkins. Definitely not going to be paid a whole bunch, going to be on a bit of a cheaper contract, nothing too crazy, nothing too brazen. But I'm not upset by this. And actually, Gary Dulac said that because of this, there probably wasn't going to be any major changes at wide receiver now that they've signed a wide receiver. But since Kevin Colbert retired, Gary Dulac has not been as credible. Therefore, still expect maybe another potential move at wide receiver before the draft. I don't know what the con artist could be cooking, but he's cooking. And I'm not feeling too bad about it. And then, of course, another free agency move they made was Kyle Allen, a quarterback. And Kyle Allen, he's had backup jobs in multiple places. And now he finds himself back in Pittsburgh. Well, I say back, and he was never in Pittsburgh to begin with, but you get what I'm trying to say. He's going to be the third string guy, 100%, because why would you put him in front of Fields in the depth chart? But, and of course, Russell Wilson is 100% starting. Let's get that thing clear. However, it's good to have a depth piece so you don't have to draft a QB with one of your picks. Because all the times we drafted a QB in the drafts past, in late rounds, they have not stayed on the team. Take a look at Chris Aladukin, who has now 2 rings with the Chiefs. Lucky son of a gun. So, what more do you want me to say? Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we don't have to draft the third string, and we get someone who is basically just like another Mason Rudolph. He's not bad, but he's not starting caliber, but he's certainly not a bad backup option. We just basically signed Mason Rudolph 2.0. Probably not. Mason Rudolph is probably better than Kyle Allen, but come on, humor me a little bit. And then you have more of a depth signing next. Dean Lowry, defensive line, which is a bit of a weird scenario here. Because Steelers, they've always drafted defensive line in the draft. You see all the time, they always draft one defensive lineman in the draft every year. Whether it's early or late. They always do it. But they get Dean Lowry in free agency. Obviously as a depth signing and on a cheap contract. And I'm not upset about this. Dean Lowry is obviously not someone that I would think of as my first selection. But he hasn't been playing too poorly. He can, be behind Ogunjobi and Hayward and learn from these guys who have, I don't know about similar builds, but similar strengths. And a little friendly competition never hurts anyone. But yeah, I'm not really too sure about the whole Dean Lowry thing. But I don't hate the signing. That's for sure. Like I said, depth piece, gonna be a rotational. He'll definitely play a few snaps. He'll get his fair share. Tomlin likes having a lot of defensive linemen to switch out, so no one really gets too fatigued. And then, last but certainly not least, about a day or two later, signing Cordell Patterson, running back from the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously getting up there in age, but as the days went on, Steelers Nation has learned that this is more of a special team signing rather than a running back depth signing. Because we have our tandem in Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Najee Harris' fifth-year option is likely to be picked up at some point in the offseason. It hasn't been yet, but it is likely going to happen. Jalen Warren is a very good backup. You have the power back and you have the speed back. And I really, really like that. Cordell Patterson is here. He might play some running back, but his main job is to be a kick return specialist. Because you got Calvin Austin for punt return. But for kick return, it's going to be Cordell Patterson. And here's why. The new kicking change, the rule change. Yeah, we'll talk about, there were 2 rule changes in the NFL. The first one was no hip drop tackles, which basically means when you go up to tackle the person, a hip drop tackle is when you tackle them by the waist and you use your legs, you pull down with your weight to tackle the person. So you can't really tackle high, you can't tackle low, and now you can't tackle in the middle. How are you supposed to tackle? Like, I know it's to minimize injuries, and we're getting off tangent here, but trust me, we'll get back to Cordell Patterson here in a moment. But how are defensive players supposed to tackle now? You're going to get injured. It's football. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know, and I think another reason why was because offenses have not been scoring points lately. Unless it's the Dolphins against the Broncos defense. But we don't talk about that anymore. Isn't that right, Denver fans? Oh, wait, we have Russell Wilson. Never mind. Anyways, it's funny. But in any case, back to Cordell Patterson. The rule change that brought him in was the same rule that the XFL has. And that is they're going to try and minimize touchbacks and fair catches. So when the kickoff happens, there's going to be a landing zone between the goal line and the 20-yard line. So the red zone, basically. And they want to encourage returns. Because footballs during kickoffs don't get returned anymore. Hardly, ever. So in order to encourage returns, they're getting a landing. They're incorporating an XFL rule into the NFL, basically. And Cordell Patterson is a skilled kickoff returner. So that's really why he's here as a kickoff returner. He might play some running back, but I still expect 90% of the reps, maybe more, to come from both Najee and Jaylen Warren. But there really was not that much to break down. So I think that's all from me. Yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. How you guys feel about the Steelers free agency. And as we add in the draft period and start doing draft content, let me know what you guys think the great needs are. Potentially, you guys got going in the early rounds, like day 1, day 2. We're gonna stream day 1 100% here on the channel. We might stream day 2. We're not gonna stream day 3, but we're gonna stream day 1. We might do day 2. I haven't decided on that yet because I really wanted to do an Oshawott stream at some point. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited. I am so excited for this draft season. It's coming up. Things are going to get serious here in Steeler Nation. And boys, we got Stairway to 7 coming. But like I said, make sure to like, subscribe. And the last Steelers off-season video, guys, over 100 views. So make sure you stick around. You know, if you guys like this so much, why haven't you subscribed? We're 13 subscribers away from 100. Let's go. Smash that button, man. What are you waiting for? Click the big red button and go for it. But I am your host. My name is Zach Attack. And as always, you're in Steelers country.